Hey yo, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You're watching my channel Mizzle 14. And I'm here doing a little special review of Married at First Sight. And this is season 12. And I will probably review a little bit about the episode 4 and 5. No, maybe 5 and 6. Okay? And I did a live this past Sunday and I introduced Married at First Sight because I have never really know about this show. I never heard about the show as much. And two, I see a lot of people on Facebook, on Twitter, and such about Married at First Sight, Married at First Sight. It's mainly because of Chris and Paige storyline I'm mostly hearing. So I said, let me hear about this. Let me give it a try. And to tell you the truth, I enjoy it. I like it. I'm watching it. So I might probably do more lives of it, but every now and then I probably will give you a little recorded version of my thoughts about some of the episodes. I won't be talking about too deeply. I just want to talk about some points that I pick up of the couples, or not even the couples, but some themes that came about with the couples mentioned, and I want to talk about it as much like that. So I will do my lives, and I will continue doing talk about that deeply in my lives. But every now and then I'm gonna give you a recorded version. Hey, show like that. All right, so I'm not going to really give you the introductions to everybody because I did that this past Sunday. I will put the link of my live of talking about Married at First Sight with the pictures and everything, and I probably will put the link of the article on my video as well, so you can look at the pictures of the couples and all stuff like that. But yes, I do agree with everybody as well, and also social media, that Chris is full of it. He's full of it. I can't stand him. He's doing a lot. He's doing the most, and he's bringing a lot of baggage so far. All the couples got their little stakes of it a little bit as well, cause then they in a little blitz right now, cause they in a honeymoon. So now everything is so good and fantasy and great and everything, but I want to see how it is when they get out of that honeymoon. So next week episodes, which I think probably be tomorrow, when I get a recording, and probably talk about it in my live, and how I feel about the couples now when they in home dealing with real life stuff, because it's a very unorthodox situation when they are married the person on site. Married at first sight, when you just met the person first time after you get matched up by the experts, and now you're sitting there, and now you marry the person, and then you don't even know this person, so you got to learn this person while y'all technically legally married. So it's like, how can we get through this? Because then you got to learn the personality, you got to learn their lifestyle, you got to learn who they were before they marry you. You got to learn how they deal with things. Stuff might match up, not like that. You want to know why they pair you up together in some aspects, and what could change, what stuff like that. But it's a lot. It could be a lot going on. So I picked up where they was at the honeymoon, and let's go with Eric and Virginia, right? You know, Eric and Virginia. Eric is the pilot, and Virginia is the like party girl and everything. And he mentioned something that was on this episode recently. It was about how men and women cannot be friends, especially straight men and straight women cannot be friends. And he said no, because he know how men feel, he know how men are, and most of the time, 100% of the time, he said that straight men always want to try their females friends, and it's never a genuine friendship, so they can never be friends. There's only two exceptions. It's either the person is gay, or to date one of her friends. And I kind of disagree, and I understand where Virginia's coming from. It's like, I have guy friends, I have girlfriends that I do not even desire to sleep with. Now, whether I'm gay or not, that's not the issue. But guy and girls could be friends if it's a mutual understanding and it's a respect. Cause not every guy be friends with a female and they want to sleep with them. It's not. It's like that. So yes, there are some guys that feel like they could get with female and they sleep with them, but they're not friends. They're like a sexual buddy, sexual partners. But I do believe a guy and a girl could be friends. Now, once a person get married, it will be some boundaries set apart. You can't like always hang out with them all the time. You can't always text them in opportune times. You cannot always hanging out with them. It is some boundary you got to set forth once you start to get married. So I guess in Virginia and Eric aspect, and part of their relationship is that they got to learn how to have that balance. Yes, He can't tell her what friends she could have. He can't tell her you can't stop talking to people and stuff like that. But as a married woman, she needs to start understanding and start learning, maturing enough. Maybe because she's still in her 20s, she's still in that party mode, and he's in the 30s, he's 34, something like that, and he's more established in his career and everything. So he wants to settle down and have the family that he wants. Everything else is like, it's completed. Now he just wants that extra last step. And Virginia's a party woman. She loved to party. She loved to drink. She loved to do this like that. So her friends, she said she had literally have guy friends she never really interested in having sex with, and they good best friends, which is fine. But when you marry, you do gotta put your husband's feelings to the first and understand how comfortable he is. And he said it's all about trusting. So he gonna put trust in her to show that she could set that boundary and not overstep and not get to the point that she will make him question her antics with the guys, because we already know she could drink. She's throwing that drink back like it's no tomorrow. So it's like, how can I be that trusting with someone who's drinking all the time? Okay, so I don't know. And even his trip, it seemed like the honeymoon Eric was on one too. He was drinking. He looked like he drank the most. He drank more than he used to. So he was on that. He was very off his energy. He's very off a little bit. But they was in their honeymoon. So we'll see how the things kicked in when he don't be drinking as much, because he's a pilot. He can't be drinking a lot like that. But he was on vacation, so I understand this and giving him a pass. But when he in real world, he not gonna be drinking like that. He gonna be more sober. And then she's in party girl, and then he won't see home. He's not gonna be home as much as well, and that could be another issue going on. It's like, how can you handle and how do you feel about being with someone who is always on the road? Like he said, half of the month he's home, and half of the month he's away. Like he said, 15 days he's off, and 15 days he's on work. So, and every week they say like he's like away for 4 days, and he comes home for 3 days. So it's like that dynamic. Like I said, I will personally be understanding, because sometimes I do like my space. So I could be with someone who's away, but as long as you come home, like means if you away for 4 days, yes, the 3 days come home, but don't so cheat on me. Just make sure you don't cheat on me. Don't do anything that make me feel like you out there and want to do you, and they want to come home because you have someone's home, and I'm waiting for you and stuff like that. So when you come and give me my attention, give me the attention. If you have kids, it's like that. But I do understand where Virginia was coming from, is that how she could be understanding of the lifestyle and might be a little adjustment. But what about they have kids and the kid event is his own thing, and he's away and he's not there, and the kid is upset because the father's not up there for the event, and you know they might not understand that father's working and stuff like that. But they're only gonna understand that the father's not there, and then you got to be the one who basically console your child. So I do understand her aspect of the children. When the children's involved and they have children, how would that work when he always on the road? And she basically had to be like a single mother. Not really she's single parent, but most of the time she's there with the kids on her own. So it's something that had to work out and see can they have that balance. But it's up to her to give and take a little bit. He gotta give and take a little bit too, to not be too controlling and not trying to change her too much, because they matched them for a reason. I don't know why they matched a party girl and a conservative type of guy. In that aspect, I guess they could say they could balance each other out, but that balance had to be in the middle point between those two. So I don't know where could they go from there. But I'm looking to see the journey between those two, because it seems like they out of all the couples, they be the one who can't keep their hands off each other. It's like that sexual attraction is there with those two. They kissing all the time, they loving each other, they hugging, all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Now, the aspect of Ryan and Clara, so they don't. That's another couple who they say they so perfect, they good, they got the perfect guy, got this like. I ain't gonna say Ryan is a good looking guy. Like he is the best looking one out of all the good guys in the damn cool. Vincent is cute, but Ryan, I can't stop looking at him. He's cute, all right. But can you be with someone who never been in love? He said he never said I love you to someone. He been in learn to long-term relationships with females and never say I love you, never. And her, who is the opposite, who always falls in love and say love you frequently. And he said he has that control factor in him. That fact, he's very routine, he's very calculated, he has that thing is set in stone. So, and she's very sociable and she's out there, she's a little bit messy, a little bit stuff like that. But how? How? With someone who's never been in love, who never said it, it's like if you go hold that love as a thing of power and say, I never say I love you to someone. It had to be earned. It had to be earned. And that it might frustrate her because it's like, okay, what can I do and what can I be to make the best wife for him so he could love me? And then if I'm ever doing enough for him to ever say the words, because he never said it before, it's like, okay, what is missing? It's either you very picky and you don't want to say it or whatever, or use that as a control tactic to not bring yourself down and use it as a way to you could get yourself out of it, out of relationships. I don't know, because he say he's very religious, he's grounded and stuff like that. So I don't know in that aspect and how can that go in that, because if he's using that and he's using that as a control, so he won't say I love you, it probably will frustrate her, especially with someone who falls hard. It seems like she really loves Ryan. So, and it seems like Ryan likes Clara. So, Ryan, I understand what you're coming from, but don't be too controlled and calculated and too focused on your head and making everything so structured to the point that you can't let things go and let it go and let free and stuff like that. So, that might be a little issue. I don't know how y'all feel about someone who said they never been in love or never really said I love you to someone. I said, okay, so how you in committed relationships and you never said I love you? Now you may not be in love completely, but for years, to be with someone for years, and he has several relationships and he been with several relationships that have been long term, and you never said it, it's like, okay, so what are you looking for that will make you say I love you? That's what I want to know. Okay, so in that aspect, another thing they mentioned about kids, and I like what Clara said, is that she wants to make sure that she be very supportive of her children and also being there for them and also learn the value of hard work. And she don't wants to make her children feel like she's not there. So whether their kids want to play ball, whether the kids is sexual is their sexual orientation, whatever they are, she wants to be there. And I think he's understanding as well. And the aspect of religion came about as well. Do you think your kids should grow up in churches like that? He wants to have that spiritual background for his kids, which is understandable and everything. But what Clara said is, I do like what she said. She said she don't want to force her kids. Yes, she want to have that grounding spiritual belief in their children. But when they get older, she don't want the kids to be forced into something. She want the kids to experiment different religion, to understand different things, and make their choice whether they want to be. Okay, so I do like that. I do like that. It might be a little bit challenging in that aspect, but I think it's more challenging is the fact that how much can he let his guard down to really love Clara to the point that he could say he love her. We'll see. Um, Brianna and Vincent. I think my only gripe about those two, they has to me. I feel like they the couple that could really make it and be one of the 13, one of the couples to add to the 12 couples that's still together from the show. Because out of 39 something couples, only 12 decided to really stay together and they still married to this day. It's like that. So I feel they could make it work, but what could really break them if Brianna don't let go of that bossy attitude she has, and this is all about her. Seems like she's very spoiled that she gets her way, and if she don't nip that in the butt with someone as carefree or something like as relaxed as Vincent, Vincent's not that. Vincent is very workaholic. Yes, that could probably be another issue. Being a workaholic, being thing, he don't like to be rushed. He like to be in his own time. For someone who who like to control things and boss them around and doing things, it it could be kind of rude. And she said she didn't want to come across as that, but it could be rude to everybody else when you come across as you like you parenting them. Like, oh, throw this away, do that thing, do that, do that. Did you floss? Did you floss your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? Did you did this? Did you clean your face? This is. It's like, come on, are you his wife or are you his mother? That's it's. It could be annoying. It can be annoying. Nobody can say you could be a bossy a little bit. You got a little assertiveness in a relationship, but you also understand that this person right here is your equal. He's not someone you. He's not your child. So, I think she needs to let some of that go and work on that, because it will get somebody a guy like Vincent to blow up. Now, I do want Vincent to maybe express himself and talk about things and let not things bother him. It seems like he's like the type of person who will bottle things up and not express himself. But he's saying no, he will. He like to talk, and he said he feel comfortable to express himself to Brianna. So, want to see how that goes. But it will cause an issue if she want things right now and he's on his own relaxed time, and that could be an issue because she's very. It seems like she's very bossy and she wants it done a certain way, and he's not like that. He like to be carefree. So we'll see how that goes, but she needs to calm down a little bit. She does. Vincent's a good guy. He look like he's a really good guy. He look like he wants someone to love and all that stuff, and you will scare him away if you assert yourself too much in a situation when you gotta think things and getting like he's a child. It's like that. And like me personally, I want nobody to treat me like I'm their child. It's like that. I know a sense of urgency, and maybe sometimes he needs to have a sense of urgency himself as well. But we need to see more of that dynamic between those two to see how much is he really is carefree, how much he's really lax, and how much he's really not taking things to the point that it needs to be serious enough that she had to say, come on, boy, let's come on. All right. Anything else that pop off now? Oh, let's do Haley and Jacob. I don't know. Those couple would seem kind of weird because it seems like Haley, because she said she always bringing the fact that she been single for so long. We understand that all y'all was single, so now y'all chose to be married right off the bat. Y'all chose this process to marry someone on first sight to see that things could work out. A social experiment for 8 weeks. So you're by yourself anymore. But I do understand the unorthodox tactics or experience this is, because usually you date, you get to know the person, then if you really start loving the person, you marry. Now these people marry first, so now you gotta date the married person, date your husband and wife, get to know them, try to fall in love, try to see the commonalities between yours two, and also try and forge a friendship and relationship to be genuine to the end of this process that y'all decided to still be together. But it seems like they cool, and he's quirky. He got quirkiness, and he's a nerdy person, and she's not like that. And it seemed like they meshed a little bit well, okay, but certain flipped, and I think it flipped when they had sex, they had intimacy, and she slow key said that she didn't really care for it. She didn't like it. So that turned her away. And then she lied and said she didn't want him there. Or said it was a girls' night out and he said he was fine with it. Then he found out she was with the other couples, and then we went down there and they all scattered away and she didn't want. I said he lied and all stuff. So, and she said it's a disconnect. So I said, what is a disconnect? And she can't explain it. Is it disconnect because you didn't like the sex? If that's the whole disconnect, or is disconnect because you don't vibe with him so much as you claim to be? And I think because she chose this process, she's got to sit through it and try to learn him. And I think she could get along with him. It just seems something. Now, if the sex is bad, it always could be taught. It always could be done better. It's like, it could be learned behavior. It could be better. So it's not like the end of the be all, unless he is just terrible. But we'll see. But I just like those couple, I just don't see much about them if she could accept who he really is. But she needs to open up a little bit, because he's trying. For someone who's a very loner and quiet person, he's trying to pull something out of her. And I know it's hard for him, something like that, because he always been himself and alone. So now to be with someone, to trying to understand them, so they can accept your world and accept their world, it's pulling teeth. It's really pulling teeth. And if you have to try so hard, you're going to get frustrated. And I don't want to see him blow up and get frustrated and get upset about things, stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. Now, the last thing I know everybody looking for and waiting for is this Paige and Chris. Chris, you trash. You definitely trash. Because the last 2 episodes, he had a secret that he was burning to say. And one of the episodes, it came out, the production said, you gotta tell her. You gotta tell her. I said, I don't want to tell her. You gotta tell her, I don't want to tell her. You gotta tell her, I don't want to tell her. I said, can you man up and speak it and spell it out already? Because I'm getting aggravated. Just going back and forth with the production for them telling you to tell the girl, and you keep saying you don't want to tell her. Like, what is the issue? What is me to tell her? So, out of all that, first of all, we found out he wasn't really attracted to her after he had sex with her twice. He said he was attracted to her. I said, how you had sex with someone twice if you're not attracted to them? That's crazy. And then he found out the situation. Now, not even that. He just broke up with his ex-fiancée 3 months ago before he even got to this process. Right? And decided to jump full head and marry at first sight. To marry Paige. And now Paige is always using God as an excuse to accept him. I said, stop it, girl. Stop it. Because God put you the stuff that you can handle, but at the same time, he put you the stuff that you should not be struggling this much. And it's not God's will for you to accept bull crap for someone that you would normally accept that. That's not God's plan. Okay? If it's God's plan, God will put you for someone who will be compatible with you, who will, yes, it'll be some troubles and tribulations, but someone that it could get through that, not someone that will put you so much stress. And then he's is emotional unbalanced. He cried 1 minute, then he outbursts, he angry and another thing. He's yelling at someone, and then he crying over there. He doing this. It's like he's emotional unstable, and I can't deal with someone like that. And I don't know why. And then we find out the secret is that the surprising news is that his ex-fiancée that he just broke up with, we find out he still was sleeping with her after they broke up, is pregnant. She's 6 weeks pregnant, and she told him. Now, I'm trying to understand that she probably told him before, because I was like, he's in this show. I obviously think that they still communicated, and obviously I think that he told her he probably getting the show, whatever. He married. He told her he's married now. Was something that it maybe surprises her. It's like, okay, we just broke up and we were still having sex, and now all of a sudden you just jumped in the show and you married someone. Okay? And probably the ex-mom is like, we probably was still trying to get back together. Now I'm pregnant with your child. This. So it pulls teeth. Paige wanted to know what's going on. She was trying to get out of him. I got out of him. It took a while. And then he took her to the bathroom, run the water. We didn't hear the freaking secret. She told us afterwards what was the secret is. And it was like, okay, whatever. So what was that? Why you had to tell the secret in the freaking bathroom that we couldn't hear? Okay? What was that about? So, out of all said and done, and then he said things that make Paige to draw her back in, because he did this thing. He goes out, but now she's in an emotional wreck because she don't know how she could deal with this. It's like, got a child with somebody else, and we just married. I'm trying to get to know you and everything, and it's too much. You say you was attracted to me. Now you got this baby on the way. You still was having sex with her. Now he did tell her that he still loved the ex. They had a conversation how they would co-parent and whatever. And it felt like it would be best if they would be together as a family unit. And he don't want no other man raising his baby. So they had a talk. So she trying to figure out, process everything. And then he said things. He said, oh, I like you now. I like you spiritually. So like that. He said things to get her to stay. to be by her side. But I think he's very manipulative with his approach and how he handle things, because he get all down and out, like he's so stressed, and then when she asks him questions, he just blurt out saying things and stuff like that, and then he get offended when people ask him questions because it's a group setting when he mentioned that, and Virginia made a statement, "Oh, is it yours?" Now, some people might take offense to that. I didn't really take offense to it. I say, "Is it really yours? How you know?" I mean, you say, unless you know it's really yours, it's like you was the only person who keep having sex with the freaking female at that time. Do you know she had any other sexual partners besides you that she get pregnant by? I mean, it was a legitimate question. I mean, I wouldn't be offended, but he got upset. Well, I said, okay, he could be upset because it's a stressful situation and everything. And then he keep coming after Virginia and Clara when they had that dirt track riding thing, and he was getting very irritated, especially towards Virginia, and very upset and very going after her. Even the men were there. I said, where was Ryan at? He was so gone somewhere. Eric was there. He said, "Oh, let's calm down. You're doing too much." He said, "No, y'all know what I'm saying." Understand that, yes, it's his business, and y'all shouldn't have to be in his business as much. But they concerned about Paige. They just want to know how things going. It's like, listen, just mind your business. You don't want y'all in the business, don't be in the business. But you have to be all alrighty like that, cursing her out, saying this, was in a van, cursing. I said, get the F out of here. Y'all pulling it. Y'all fake concern. How they fake concern and everything. I was like, listen, Chris, you doing too much. And I think it's a very manipulative tactic he has. It's a control. He knows what he's doing, and he is playing the game. He's playing very mind games with Paige. And Paige, I need you to stop using God as an excuse to keep accepting his bull crap. We can't do that. We can't. We cannot do that, and we're not doing that. All right? So, yeah. If y'all watching this, tell me how y'all feel about this couple. Feel free to put your comments down, because I want to hear people's opinions about this, because I decided to watch it based on what y'all people on social media keep talking about this show. I wouldn't know what this buzz about. Now I'm watching it. I said, okay, I'm into it, and I want to talk about it. And since I have this platform, I can talk about things like this. I like to see shows like that and analyze and go deep dive into it. So watch my lives on Sunday, because every now and then I will talk about Married at First Sight and deeply with someone else. And stay tuned. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Also share my videos. And I'll talk to y'all later, y'all. Peace.